So my session is like more about like building the app for predictive disaster forecasting using the Azure. So, so what is this? Like based on the topic, you are maybe thinking about like this, how to predict this disaster, what is this forecasting and all, right? So in this session, like I'll be make it very easier to understand you people. There are lots of data available in the public domain, and you can reuse it and you can utilize our purpose to save your lives as well as to create some security apps around us. So let's start. What are the things we'll be covering in this session? What are the use cases? How to get the required data to predict the disaster? Okay, disaster means disaster is anything that might be like rain, there is a cold, or might be there is some 6 hour next 3 hours. So this is one of the use case. And logistic, let's say there are lots of containers, trucks, and containers going on the sea, etc., right? So they also get some notification alerts like when you travel beyond the 12 hours or within the 3 hours, there will be a disaster. So there is already systems are in the market or in the government setup, but how we can reuse that data will be learn in these sessions. There's a tourism also, like many college students and many people go for the trekking, they will be go for the high altitude area, and they will face the lots of problems. So before they climb to the any high altitude area, they will get the alert, like after 3 hours there is a problem. So that kind of alerts and that kind of prediction, how we can get it. So we'll be learning these sessions. So let's say, so how to get the required data? Might be you people say like there is a IoT word, and for everything we require the IoT. But for the every need we don't require any IoT solutions. Okay, for the private requirement only we can use the IoT solution, our own IoT solution. Let's say we want to monitor the factory temperature or my own building temperature, or I want to make some automation. Then I can use my own private IoT solution. But for this requirement, there is already metropolitan data, government data available publicly. We can just access and reuse it. So first, we don't require any IoT solution to set up. So how to get data then? There is a simple way, like plenty of data available to use and create the analytics. And how we are getting this data in this session? We are using the Azure map, okay? So Azure map will provide all the required data to generate the alerts. We can get what will be happen to next 12 hours. Those data we can get whether there is a rain or there is sudden something happening. So all data we can get it using the Azure map. So Azure map has lots of capabilities. So one of them is capabilities to get the future forecasting of the environment. So before going to set up this environment, I'm talking about like Azure subscription. We require the Azure subscription, okay? So many students maybe not aware about like how they can get the Azure subscription. There is Azure subscription is available, but we require credit card, etc. So they are also confused about what development technologies need to be used. Like there are lots of Visual Studios are available, Visual Studio Coders are available. So just I want to quickly show you for the student benefits. So what are the free things available? So I am in Delhi, so we can talk about the free things, okay? So let's see like what are the free things available to reuse it. So first, like we need a Twilio account, right? First is, what is Twilio account? Twilio account is nothing but it is one of the platform by using which we can send the text messages, okay? So Twilio free trial account, use the $10 to use it, and it will give some one number which required to send the SMS, right? So this is one of the number which is given by the Twilio account, and we can create this free account and we can use for the sending the text messages. So one of this account we can get it. Another what we require the Azure subscription, right? So let's say, okay, so this is a free account, free Azure account we can create, and we can get around 12 services completely free for the 12 months, and 40 other services, 40 other services always free. So you can take this note. Also, if you are student, for this account we require the credit card, but there is another account for the students. If you see here, these are the students' account. This students' account can get the free trial without any credit card. So this is of the Azure subscription. And another need for the development is code editing tools. Okay, so there are different code editor tools. If you require the cross-platform development, like lightweight development, regarding the UI development or any programming language, then simply you can use the Visual Studio Code. Okay, and this Visual Studio Code also available for the online. Let's say this is an online tool, vscode.dev. This is an online version. You people don't need to install anything. We can use it online things. Another is like we have different types of Visual Studios. Like it is used for the mainly for the enterprise grade developments. So there are different kinds of Visual Studio editions. This professional and enterprise. So student can use this Visual Studio Community editions. So this Visual Studio Community edition, it is free of cost, and you can develop your applications. Okay. So this is about the prerequisites. Let's move on our slides. So I'll be go here. This is about our requirement. So what are the things required? We require the Azure function. So Azure function, what will do the Azure function? Azure function simply like get the data from the particular map locations and store into the Azure storage. And Azure storage, like from the Azure storage, our timer trigger will be run for every 5 minutes. It will detect the temperature matching conditions, and those, whenever there is a condition match, let's say there is a temperature high for 40 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Celsius, then it will generate the alerts and send to the end user, whomever subscriber to that particular service. So let's say we learn about this creating this. Let's say go to this Azure portal, and this Azure portal, like this is my resource group, and in this is resource group we have this Azure map accounts. We have to create the Azure map account. This Azure map account will give you all the details, like it has all the data. It's similar to like this Bing map. This is a Bing map from the Microsoft. So Azure map is the version of this Bing map. So all the data we can get from this map. So whatever the data available here, so same data we can get using the Azure map APIs. Okay. Now simply we have all the details. I have already created these things. This is and we need some storage account. Storage account is like our Azure function will run daily on 12 hours basis and pull the data from the Azure map, which is next 12 hours, and put into the Azure table storage. This is my table, simple table called as weather alert data. So this data stored in this table format, and we have Azure function which will run by every 5 minutes, let's say. So it will check from the table, and it has different condition. If I show you, this is Python app, and this is available in the Microsoft Learn module. We can get it. Similarly, we can create this one in .NET as well. There are different SDKs available. So this .NET is not working. So I just try to reuse the app which is already there. So if you see this app, so this app, like simply like using the Azure storage account, it is like matching the max mean, like generating the alerts, creating one dictionary of alerts, and just setting the alerts into some dictionary. And if you see here, this is simple function of the Python. This notification, how this forecast notification generating, this is simple code. This TOILO number we can fix. So we can simply copy this TOILO number, and here we can put it here. So this number will be validated to send the messages, and it is set to the some Twilio account. And this is how we can set up the alerts. This is a simple file. If you see here, this is a map API, and simply it will provide, which is map API is using whatever account we have created here. If you go here, this is a map API, and map API, like we require some key. So if I go here, this is my map account, and from here, like I can get the keys. Let's say I can get key, and it will collect the data and push into the Azure storage account. If you see here, it will save into the Azure storage account. And whenever there is a condition match about the temperature, about the rain, there is some millimeter rain is coming into next 12 hours, so everything will be predict and generate the alerts and send to the customer. So this is my simple Python app. It won't be run because I have some Windows script issues. So, but this all the script and everything is available publicly to use it, and it does not matter like we need Python, etc. It supports all the languages. It supports the .NET. It supports the any whatever the Java language, whatever the language you want, you can develop this app and you can reuse it. So just I wanted to provide the context, like whatever the things is there, and you can reuse it. And this is like, just I wanted to end this session, like if you want to connect with me, and like you can tag me on Twitter, like just I'm expecting like you people get the context, like for every solution, IoT not required, there is a lots of data available, you can use it. So I'm expecting some student like build some app using the React.js open source platform for their student. If you go, let's assume I'll give you the use case to the students. You can tag me and you'll get some excited price from me as well. So let's say I'll be explaining one use case. Set up everything what I explained with the free of cost. Use Visual Studio Code, use create your free Azure subscription account, and create this Azure Maps etc. And let's say create one app using the open source tool like React Native or etc. And whenever your college students, let's say, coming to the college, there is one app which automatically detect the location of your mobile, okay, and send that location to the Azure map and get the required details, like what will happen around the college in next 12 hours, like there is a high temperature or there is a rain, etc. Like, so that app automatically give you all the details what will happen around the college, so you people can plan the travel accordingly. So this use case you people can take. And there are lots of exciting stuff you can do using the Azure map. So just simply search about the Azure map and learn about these things and use this data existing, okay? So this is my CSharpCorner profile, and this is my like Twitter and my personal blog. And I would like to thanks for watching this short tutorial. I hope it gives the hints, whatever there is available, public domain, and you can reuse it. Yeah, any question? Yeah. Yes, everything. Everything, whatever you want, right? So there are lots of weather websites, right? There are weather websites which will show you, let's say there is a Delhi, Mumbai, or major cities, right? So what are the temperature there next 12 days, okay? So that detail we can pick it. And what will be happen? Let's say I want to predict the daily temperature or environment. Next 12 days, there is rain or there is some disaster happening. So every detail you can get from the maps. You can also get the location details from the map. Everything, whatever the things you can get from the Google Maps, those all things you can get from the Azure Maps. Yes, so whatever the storage account is, right? So on the fly, we can't be send and generate alerts. It will be lots of heavy operation, right? So instead of this, like we are first pulling the data and putting into the Azure storage account, table storage. And from the table storage, we have some precondition. Let's say I want alert only, there is a temperature more than 45 in the daily, okay? And there is some in Mumbai, I want alert only for the temperature having the more than 35, okay? So for creating those custom alert, we need some pre-existing data. So for that purpose, we are storing data in the Azure table storage. And from that, we are creating the alerts and sending to the end users. Yes. Yes, correct. We are just dumping the data. Let's say next 12 hours, whatever happening, we are just pulling the data and dumping to the Azure table storage. It does not mean you can use the Azure table storage, you can use SQL server or whatever may be. Yeah. So that purpose we are using the Azure storage. And also it is not mandatory to use the Azure table storage. Whatever data you want to use, you can use it. Yeah. Yes. Correct, correct, correct. So this is how the flow is coming. Like there is a Azure map, and there is a Azure function. There is a Azure function scheduler which runs for every 12 hours, and it will get the data of next 12 days or 30 days. Okay, predicted data, and it will get dump of data and push into my Azure storage table. Now let's say I have already data of my next 12 days, right? So I don't need to pull again data from the Azure map. Then let's say I will be create the alerts. I want to travel next day or tomorrow, then I need the temperature of the daily, okay? So instead of going to the map again, I will be pulled from the my table storage where the data gets stored. And from that, once the condition is matched, then user want SMS, right? For that SMS purpose, we are using the Twilio service. And these things, whole things we can automate using the Power Automate or the logic app. It does not matter, we should go to this phase as well, okay? Yeah. Yes, we can also, if you want to extend to the email or Teams messages, then we can extend service to anything. Which images? That also we can do. That is, does not matter. Like we have to store the images in the binary format in the database, and a text message is won't be possible to send those heavy images, but you can provide the link, or if you want to send in the email, then we can just store as a binary in the database and directly send to the email or something, so they can view the image. For storing the images, you can, let's say simply you want to store the as it is image, then you can use the blob storage. And if you want to store that image in the binary format, then you can use the table storage or SQL server, anything. Means binary format is just simple thing. So I was written article very long time back. Save files in binary format, if you see. So this is simple, like there is binary format which it creates some chunk of data and it will be stored. I will show you this. I think written, maybe updated recently, but I written long time back. If you see this article, how the binary will look. This is simple thing, we can do it. I'll show you just how the binary format looks. You see, this is a binary format of that particular file. This is not whole image. Now, this binary format contains all the files, and simply we can download and see these files. So this is what the binary contents. Yeah. Yes. Based on what service you are using, most of the what are the services we used in this session, most of them are free. But like if you are some enterprise requirement and you are consuming lots of data, database or operations, then definitely it will be charge you. Nothing is free in Azure unless like you using something different. Yes. 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 Expected temperature, right? So just I'm assuming here, just assumption here, right? So uh, let's say there is a one app, right, which I have created. Let's assume, okay, and there is a one user, and created alerts like simply like we setting the alarm on our mobile, right? 6 a.m., 7 a.m., right? So similarly, let's say I given some feature in my app, create the alerts, right? Create alert, location, daily, what is the my condition, temperature is greater than 46 this date, okay? So that condition will be get stored into the somewhere, right? Yes. 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 Correct. Yes. You have to set, yeah, you have to set that value, like let's say there is a already temperature, right, and there are pre-configured temperature. Let's say in Mumbai 40 is very normal to the Mumbai people, correct? Let's say it's more than 50, then it will be a very hot for them. So all those precondition will be set by the app provider, okay, let's assume. And what are the custom alerts you want, like let's say you not survive, let's say there is a foreigner, he can't survive more than 25 temperature, then he can set the alerts like there is a temperature more than 25, then I don't want to go to the Mumbai, and then that whatever the app we created, it will give the alerts like no, there is more than 25 hotter than you expected, please don't go that location. So that custom alerts he can create, and will get the alerts, those things. Yeah. Yeah, so thank you everyone. My time is get over. Thank you for watching, and don't hesitate to contact me and whatever the task I have given to you. Okay? Thank you.